Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, war, abortion, foreign policy, how immigration impacts our economy, all things we can expect to hear about in President Biden's third State of the Union address. And the father of a mass shooter is on trial for manslaughter. Last month, the shooter's mother was convicted of the same charges.
Plus, wet weather is back as early as tomorrow. Your forecast coming up as Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The stakes are high for President Joe Biden, who in just a few hours will deliver his State of the Union speech. The 234-year-old tradition is an opportunity for the president to address Congress on how the administration plans to tackle some of the nation's biggest obstacles. WYMT Washington correspondent Ashanti Ford joins us with what you need to know about the State of the Union address.
Capitol Hill is at the center of major decisions that reach across our nation and around the world. We see that with the war in Gaza and Ukraine and how much they rely on our support. And then there's the southern border and national security right here at home. These issues and how they should be addressed is something that continues to divide Congress. Many members pointing the finger at President Joe Biden, saying he's not doing his job, questioning his physical and mental ability to make sound decisions. The State of the Union address, which is the largest TV audience President Biden will have ahead of the November election, is an opportunity for him to address these concerns. Tonight, we can expect to hear about abortion and the legislation that surrounds a woman's right to choose, immigration and how it impacts our economy, foreign policy, and the overall state of the nation. President Biden will deliver his third State of the Union address at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Republican response will be given by Senator Katie Britt of Alabama. In Washington, I'm Ashanti Ford.
Now you can watch the State of the Union address and the Republican response tonight at 9 o'clock right here on WYMT. Like Ashanti mentioned, Katie Britt of Alabama will deliver that Republican response. Britt made history when she was sworn into office last year. She is Alabama's first elected female senator, and at only 42 years old, she is the youngest Republican woman ever elected to the Senate. In a statement, Senator Britt says she is honored and grateful for the opportunity to, quote, have a candid conversation about the future of our nation. Before he addresses the country tonight, President Biden is getting some advice from other presidents, or at least the actors who have played presidents in movies. Some of the famous presidents included Deep Impact's President Tom Beck, played by Morgan Freeman, and Scandal's President Fitzgerald Grant III, played by Tony Goldwyn. Here was some of their advice.
Well, sir, in my capacity as president, all I had to deal with was a meteor. One of the things that I came out of that with in my speech to people, hope. Hope is the strongest force we have in this country.
In preparation for your speech, it's just there was one sort of piece of advice and that meant a lot to me when I was president. And so I just wanted to share that really quick with you. Tell them that you exist for them. Tell them that they make you a better man.
Some other fictional presidents that gave advice included Commander-in-Chief's President Mackenzie Allen, played by Gina Davis, the American President's President Andrew Shepard, played by Michael Douglas, and Independence Day's President Thomas J. Whitmore, played by Bill Pullman.
Well, we are dreary as we go into your Thursday evening. A live look from the WYMT studios, and we are overcast. That current temperature is sitting at 54 degrees, so we are close to average on this Thursday evening, and most of us right now in the middle to lower 50s. A few 60s, though, close to the Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia border, up to 66 in Jonesville, 65 in Middlesboro, 53 for Jackson, 52 over in Moorhead, also in Pikeville at this hour. Up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, we are dry as that drier air also works into the region, but notice as we zoom out, we are tracking our next rainmaker producing some showers over Arkansas, pushing into Tennessee, also western Kentucky, and this moisture will continue moving into our direction as we go into tomorrow. Some more showers are on the way by Friday, also for the first half of your weekend, but as we go into this evening, We are tracking some more dry weather. We stay cool, also cloudy, lows in the upper 40s as you wake up on Friday. A small chance of a stray shower by late tonight, also early tomorrow, but higher rain chances are on the way by Friday, also for your Saturday, before some drier air by Sunday, also for most of next week. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Thanks, Cameron. Officials are looking for a missing Tennessee teenager at a Hopkins County, Kentucky landfill. Officials say that trash from 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers' neighborhood is delivered to the landfill in White Plains. Officials say there is no specific information that indicates evidence related to the search for Sebastian may be there. They say the search is a precautionary measure to eliminate possible options and questions. It's been 11 days since he disappeared. The trial of a Michigan man whose son committed a deadly mass shooting got underway today. James Crumbly is facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Last month, a jury convicted the shooter's mother on the same charges. Andres Gutierrez reports from the courthouse in Pontiac, Michigan.
James Crumbly sat quietly as prosecutors in Michigan argued why he should be held criminally responsible for his son's deadly shooting rampage at Oxford High School in 2021.
James Crumbly bought that gun that his son used to kill as a gift for his son 4 days before the attack.
4 students were killed in the shooting. Prosecutors accused James Crumbly of gross negligence for not securing the gun his son Ethan used in the shooting and for not speaking up about the firearm or take him home when school staff discovered a disturbing drawing of a similar gun on the teenager's math assignment on the day of the shooting.
Him sitting in that counselor's office looking at this drawing and then not only staying silent, but then his failure to act, right there, is his willful disregard of danger.
Crumbly's defense attorney claimed her client did not suspect his son was a danger.
James Crumbly did not know what his son was going to do. He did not know that his son could potentially harm other people.
We find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Last month, the jury found Ethan's mother, Jennifer Crumbly, guilty on the same counts. It was the first time in U.S. history that a parent has been criminally responsible for a mass shooting committed by their child. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Pontiac, Michigan.
Jennifer Crumbly is scheduled to be sentenced next month. She faces a maximum of 60 years behind bars, 15 years per manslaughter count. Ethan Crumbly, who's now 17, is serving a life sentence in prison after pleading guilty in 2022. Monday, embattled Senator Bob Menendez will be arraigned on new criminal charges stemming from a years-long bribery scheme involving the governments of Egypt and Qatar. Federal prosecutors allege the New Jersey senator obstructed their investigation by feeding false information to his attorney, who passed it on to authorities. Tuesday, a grand jury indicted him on 12 new counts, including conspiracy, obstruction of justice, bribery, and extortion. Former White House physician Ronnie Jackson was demoted by the Navy 2 years ago. According to the DoD Inspector General, Jackson was accused of drinking on the job, acting inappropriately, and frequently screaming at subordinates. When Jackson retired in 2019, he was a 1-star Rear Admiral. The demotion dropped him down to captain, according to a pair of U.S. officials. Jackson was a top White House doctor under Presidents Obama and Trump. The National Transportation Safety Board has opened a new investigation into Boeing 737 MAX. This follows an incident last month when United Airlines pilots experienced stuck rudder pedals during a landing rollout in Newark. The rudder controls an airplane's direction, turning left or right. No one was injured on the flight, and the plane returned to the gate. The malfunction happened again during a test flight 3 days later. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, approximately 1 in 5 Americans are behind on both oil changes and tire rotations, according to a new study. Why delaying this routine maintenance can lead to bigger problems.
And more showers are likely tomorrow, also to kick off this weekend. Timing out those rain chances after this break.